Hola, soy Player42 y hoy les traigo otra video reacción. Y esta vez es otro de Cinema Sins de Todo lo malo con Batman contra Superman. Ultimate Edition. Ultimate. Ah, Me vi el primero, que son 20 minutos, este también es bastante largo. Lo más seguro es que corte varias partes para que el video pueda subirlo y no en dos partes. En dos partes es un desastre. Ah, la película me gustó, no voy a mentir, me gustó, con todo y errores, sí, me gustó. Y sí, son 6 películas en una, pero trataron, trataron y no fue una pérdida total. Vamos a ver qué dicen acá. Tengan en cuenta, voy a cortar varias partes, seguramente se van a dar cuenta y vamos a verlo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. ¡Pum! ¡Qué frío!
Well, you want it, you got it. Let's see if this Ultimate Edition makes this movie better in any way. Is it shorter? It is not shorter. Ah, welcome to the party, Jenna Malone. Just so you know, there's still going to be some absurd leaps in logic, unexplained coincidences, and continued overacting in this edition. But glad you're here. Africola, taste the feeling.
You know what Huron always says we're on assignment together? Not a goddamn thing. I like Huron.
So far, Jimmy Olsen simply introduced himself and asked how she landed this interview. He hasn't been a jackass or insulted Lois in any way, but here he is getting cut out of the movie before Warner Brothers gets a chance to do it themselves.
Stand down is an order.
How do you go from a vapid military drama to an over-CGI doomsday in 3 hours or less? Stick around! The Ultimate Edition clears the air on whether or not this dude shot more dudes during this gunfight.
You are clear to engage.
You know, if Superman had arrived
Me di
a bit
cuenta de
earlier
que
and just saved Lois and the
tiene
CIA went ahead and blew the hell out of
los
the village,
scenes de
there
la
wouldn't be any reason for
versión
the Senate panel
teatral
to investigate
y
Superman.
los scenes que están
So Lex
contando
is
de
extremely
la
lucky here with the sequence of events,
de
which
esta,
is really
la
this whole
Ultimate
movie.
Edition.
Also, let's talk about
Está
Lex's
buena,
plan.
a ver,
He somehow knows
a ver si
Lois is
tiene
going
más
to
o no.
interview an African warlord, knows the CIA is involved, somehow inserts his own men into the situation, knows that Superman will show up, knows that he can implicate Superman when things go wrong. If he was this smart, he should have won already. Drone v Superman. Yeah, the CIA was about to bomb this entire village. I assume at least one person saw the missile headed there, and heard the gunshots beforehand, but everybody fucking blames Supes for whatever reason. They should be thanking him for saving everyone else's life. Jesus, this fucking movie. Ultimate Edition of movie contains Ultimate Edition of Amy Adams acting solely through her face.
He came down. Then came fire.
Now it makes a lot more sense. Superman is being accused of burning all those bodies, which we didn't see in the theatrical release. We're still not removing a sin because they still somehow find a way to blame Superman based on one person's testimony, a person they never vet once. Metropolis State. Also, more exciting football action, as can only be brought to you by the Ultimate Edition.
Gotham City, you know how they are about their football team.
Yep, it's all I ever hear about Gotham City. Their football fandom erupts in violence worse than Vancouver after a hockey loss.
Ooh.
Zack Snyder drops a reference to another comic book movie that he epically f***ed. Honest to God, this cop climbs more stairs in this version. Can't make this shit up. So this guy is still running an underground sex trade organization, right? Do we give a shit what happens to him? More blood!
No.
More wine! More pre-coital looks! Also, R-rated Ultimate Edition still gives us a PG-13 naked Lois Lane.
These rich old ladies, they thought it was very cute, you know.
Sí,
Right
medio al
sex for
pedo
Lex.
I
cambiar
know this
la
extended
clasificación.
scene is to fill some backstory about Lex's relationship with his father, but it really only gives us a few more seconds to be disappointed in Jesse Eisenberg's performance.
To look him in his eye and ask him how he decides which lives count.
It makes way more sense for Clark to be seeing something that actually matters to his story, rather than some nonsense about Batman branding people so you should hate him, like the theatrical release did. Still, if you watch these two versions, they made Clark react the same way to Batman's branding as they did to this lady's testimony about the stuff he allegedly did. The cake is a lie! What's the direction here? Henry, we're gonna show something on the TV, you just stand there and emote.
Underdog dreams dashed 10 yards between Gotham and glory.
Wait, the only football game that was added to this edition was the blowout, when Metropolis State beat Gotham City 64-0. How is that 10 yards away from anything?
Is she in?
She's been gone. In fact, if she's smart, then she got out of this city.
How long has it been since the Nairobi scene? We just saw Lois getting back yesterday, but the woman from the village has had time to say goodbye to her village after the Americans left and the government attacked, and she's had time to move to the US, appear in a Senate hearing in DC, rent an apartment, then move out? Guy just f***ed up a winning lottery ticket for an unnecessary bat sketch.
Benefit for the Library of Metropolis. Someone on the committee
Sí, no
requested that
especifican
Clark Kent
mucho
cover it.
el tiempo.
And newspapers
No.
give stories to reporters based on the requests of random people. Besides, doesn't he have football to cover? Also, assuming Lex is the one that invited Clark, how the f does he already know that Clark is Superman? There may be some logical explanation, but it's in neither of the cuts of this movie, so f that fake-ass knowledge. Farbatsy. Batastrophe. Clark asked this question even though we now know he spent extra time investigating in Gotham, where Bruce Wayne is ridiculously super famous. We said it before we even knew that, so now let's double it.
Good people living in fear.
In the bullshit theatrical release, you didn't get this Ben Affleck smirk. Fucking bullshit theatrical release.
Never seen a medal like this.
Jenna Malone is here to deliver a line that Lois repeats later in the theatrical cut,
Experts at the Pentagon can't ID it.
and is thus adorably unnecessary. I'm sure nobody saw that, and subways have 0 cameras. You can get away with anything down there. Another scene where Soups is moving extremely slowly relative to his abilities. Is this really the right place to take your sweet-ass time? Ultimate Edition, now with 100% more Alfred manual labor. Also, after that Capitol building explosion, I really wondered what Alfred thought about all this. Now, my wish is granted. There was a sin before about not seeing Batman break into LexCorp. Now that we get a brief glimpse of how awesome that break-in was, I'm adding 10 more. More things going into things. More sweaty workouts. Again, this movie does nothing to explain some of the biggest questions of the movie. How Superman knows when Lois is in danger, no matter where he is in the world. How Lex knows the identities of Superman and Batman. How Lex knows how to operate the Kryptonian ship's computer functions. Stuff I'd think an extra 30 minutes is more than enough to explain, especially since most of the additions in this movie have wasted time on extra lines, more violence, and that cop climbing the stairs. That also doesn't explain the of the rest of the movie either. Guys, not making this up, but this movie adds 12 extra seconds to its runtime so we can see this asshole walk farther. More like Ultimate Edition, am I right? There is more Batman v Superman in this Batman v Superman, but it's stuff like this shit. He didn't get enough suddenly fruitless punching in the other version, now here's even more suddenly fruitless punching. I don't think we've given enough sins for this scene. Like in 2046, when we're all long dead from the Martian volcano sacrifice, the electrons in the air will sense the need to sin this idea that made it past someone's brain and onto a screenplay, and then past multiple other brains where it actually got filmed, edited, and released to the public.
I don't deserve any of it.
No, sir, you don't.
This version touches more on the romantic relationship between Bruce and Alfred, an area where no other Batman movie has dared to tread, removing one sin for the obvious homosexual relationship that this movie makes no big deal about, the way it should be. More Batman kicking ass in the best scene is always a good thing, but this MPAA has me befuddled. I haven't seen one thing in this movie that would make it R-rated for violence. There's no way this is worse than your average PG-13 movie.
I don't hate the sinner. I hate the sin.
Lex Luthor's philosophy is too dangerously close to our own. Movie does explain what happened to Martha after Batman saves her, which is good, because I was beginning to think that Batman made her walk home. While we were dumbfounded that Superman didn't just throw the crypto spear instead of flying directly into Doomsday, I'm even more dumbfounded now that the spear didn't weaken Superman enough to the point where he crash-landed before being able to do that. More Superman fake death mourning. Oh, this explains Lex Luthor's he is hungry moment. Well, we'll remove a sin, I guess. Why the did they cut this? Still, even after he sets up the Batman fight, then unleashes Doomsday, Lex has time to interact with an even badder batty. Forget arresting this asshole, just take him out now. Chili's ready. What? Kennedy's dead? Food porn. Lois staring at the ceiling scene stays in. Seriously, watch the theatrical version against this version side by side, and the bagpipes start playing Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
They said it's all taken care of.
By whom?
Anonymous donor.
Bruce paid for the funeral. Pretty badass.
Civilization on the wane, manners out the window.
Fucking how? Just show me any moment in either of these two editions when Lex figures this out. Apparently his superpower is to just casually know everyone's secret identities.
I arranged for you to get transferred to Arkham Asylum in Gotham.
No one's ever escaped it, so it's a perfect place to put you. Also, great, now he can interact with the other supervillains for the convenience of this universe. Wait a minute, is this burial still going on? Didn't we see Bruce here in Kansas when they dropped off the coffin? Then he went to tell Lex Luthor what's what, and now Lois is still here?
Ouch. Estuvo muy bueno. Todos nos preguntamos lo mismo. Todos y cada uno nos preguntamos lo mismo. ¿Cómo hizo Lex Luthor para averiguar? Bueno, no es estúpido. Es obvio que claro que no es Superman, sacar los anteojos y ya está. Pero ¿cómo hizo para saber que Bruce era Batman, no? En ningún momento lo explica. Y él tiene razón. Debería haber al menos 5 minutos más como diciendo te voy a decir, lo supe por tal cosa y no por tal cosa. No, podrían haber puesto otros 5 minutos y haber sacado alguna otra cosa innecesaria, porque hay cosas tan innecesarias en la película ya de por sí. No entiendo, la verdad. es como ver Watchmen, de Ultimate Edition también. Te agregan más cosas que ni siquiera debieron haber estado ahí en primer lugar. No entiendo la verdad. Esto demuestra que a Zack Snyder no lo puedes dejar hacer una película. Menos 300 estuvo buena. 300 estuvo bastante buena. Watchmen también me gustó, pero podrías haberlo dejado ahí. No hace falta de Director Code, Ultimate Edition. No hizo falta ninguno de esos. Bueno, perdón por haber cortado varias partes, pero ¿qué se le va a hacer? Tenía que hacer algo de tiempo. Si les gustó, pónganle me gusta, suscríbanse. Si no, pónganle no me gusta, no se suscriban, son libres de hacerlo como siempre. Nos vemos en otro video. Y por el momento estoy haciendo reacciones y algún que otro top 10. Por el momento no sé qué hago con este canal, de verdad. Pero me mantiene entretenido. Al menos hablarle a un objeto inanimado. Me siento tan solo, la puta madre. Bueno, nos vemos la próxima. Y quién sabe,